Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of UKBBL Presents. And tonight we will be covering the grand final of the 53rd season of the UK League. And we have a very exciting match with Galentio versus Khornight. And I am here tonight with Phil. Hi, Phil.
Nice to have you all here for the final of what has been, as Waldorf said in his commissioner announcement, a challenging season.
Oh, don't
Um,
remind me.
but it's another great one, and I'm so pleased for both these coaches to make the final,
Yes.
because we will make that tonight, no matter what the result. We will be making UK BBL history. No undead or Elven Union side has won the ultimate
Exciting.
prize. Um, and so, you know, unfortunately, I was rooting for Corn Knight when he was playing on Archangel. Um, but I didn't want to. I thought I'd just get it out of the way, sort of early on. So yeah, we're gonna have and oh, sorry, undeads have got two. I must have missed that. So if we get a pro elf winner, we're gonna have a new entry into the races. That's a bit disappointing. I missed the undead had two. Um,
Yeah.
maybe they're by the same coach, so we'll have the second undead winner. But I was having a little look through the teams, and I'm very interested to see what we think about the lineups, because I have some. Um, I'll let you go first, Archangel. What do you think?
Oh, so I haven't had the pleasure of playing against those pro Ls. I was gonna say, if they can maintain the same armor, I think they're in for a good run. If not, I think that they might have a little bit more of attrition over the match. I think for Core Knight, the sneaky git fouling player will be focusing on seeing if he can get rid of that star ghoul, because I think it
I
will
mean, the
come
good,
the undead goal, right?
yeah,
If you can get rid of that goal, uh, the undead loses a lot of their ball playing ability and becomes a fair bit of more, how to say, fragile in that sense, and you will have to start doing stuff you
mm,
probably would prefer not having to do. Uh, if they're not able to stop that goal, however, which is also going to be a bit of a challenge being with those stats and skills and stuff like that, right? I will have a. It will be very interesting to see if he can get that
so
stuff.
yeah, so I just I've got the chat open. Squiggy McSquig. I learned way back in Rebel, never to bet against Corn Knight. Well, I'm going to be that person. I am going to be betting against Corn Knight. I think this is a really tough matchup for the elves. Um, I think in some ways playing orcs is a lot easier, for any of the elf sides, because when you get rid of that orc, you know it's not coming back, and I,
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a fair bit um, riding on the regen rolls. I think if elves are playing 6 against 10, 6 against 9, you elves can score with 6 as long as there's a gap to get through. You can absolutely score. I I'm not convinced based on the fact that there's a very nice deep roster
yeah.
um, for Galentio to play with. I'm not
But
sure
they
those
both
gaps are
actually
going to
have
be
that.
there.
Like I think that's always been sort of pro L's strength is they can afford those extra players. Like right when you're playing dark elves or wood elves, or you because of the cost of your players, you just can't have like 14, 15 players because you would be team value so high, right? Whereas on a pro elf team, you can definitely have the 13 players that he has and still have a
Yeah,
competitive team V.
I mean
And
they've definitely got some nice pieces in there. Um, like the fact that if Khornight can get Immortal on that ghoul, it's just a real shame that Immortal doesn't. That this is Immortal's the top blitzer
Yeah.
with armbar. If he could get tackle, he would be a real problem. Will tackle and
Yeah.
dive and tackle. I think he would be a real threat. I
So
just
so
it's
so
a
if I
lot of
was
it is going to
Khornight,
come down to the
yeah, I was going to say if I was Khornight, I would be. My concern would be, can I stop that goal? And I would be concerned that it's actually possible because it will of course be sheltered by all the other players, and there's no way that I'm chucking through 14 undead players, especially with a bit of regen on top of it, right? So I
mm,
will be expecting to play against the full roster, them screening off the goal, making it more or less impossible for me to get at it, and then with the, I think it's 2 tackles, right, as far as I remember Khornight has, that they will
he's got two tackle. Yeah,
yeah, that is, they need to stay alive as long as possible to sort of do that, right? Um, the kickoff is in 10 minutes, just for the chat. Yeah. Uh, on the other hand, Galentio is sort of also suffering the same issue. Like, there's a lot of Blood Dutch players, and they will be not wanting to be brawling on the middle of the field, right? So, do you actually get to remove any of the players? So should a blitz happen in either direction as a kickoff event, like that will swing the match hugely. Otherwise, my prediction is they're gonna have a 1-1 because whatever of those team gets the ball, it will be hard for the other team to get it from them once they have it.
I know they're both listening because I think they're both in the chat. I mean, I was thinking about this in the car on the way.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested to see how Cornet plays because they're both in the chat. I think I'll stay quiet for the minute until I know that they're both they're both off because I don't want to put kind of ideas in their head. But yeah, I think regen rolls are going to be huge. If if Galentio loses that goal, but he's got such a big target. I mean, we do need to remember as well. He has got another 2 goals. Got another 3 goals that you could go to. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, they're not exactly slow coaches, are they? You know, they
No,
can
no.
move 9 squares at a pinch if you're going to use
But
those
he's the
re-rolls.
only ghoul
Obviously,
that has block. So he's the only one that with both the block and the short hands. He's the only one who can
yeah,
actually
but if
hold the ball.
Galencio's playing them right, you're not going to be able to lay a glove on any of those ghouls, right? You know, you're going to have zombies in front or skeletons in front, or you're going to have them nicely screened behind the mummies. They're just going to be that. They're going to be that threat. And I'm just thinking again. I've just got my elf hat on here. Is and Khornight's too clever to fall for this sort of nonsense. But just having one of the ghouls on the side, you know, away from the ball, you know, where you've just got that option, that threat over on the side to go. I can hand off to that ghoul if I want to, and I can punch it in if I want to, if I feel like there's an advantage to do so, because I mean Galentio might do that. I think the other thing as well is worth considering is actually the 1 turn because Khornight is probably gonna have to have a go at it at some point. Um, it's a shame that there's no out and out 1 turner yet on the roster for Khornight. Um,
Well, he
but
has the basics for it. Like he could have skills that could make it easier, of course. But their
I
movement
mean,
in
yeah,
and
you're always
frenzy, sidestep if you need to, and like there's versions of it, but but
yeah.
it's definitely not a given.
Oh,
It's not like when you're playing
Khor-
against the same team where it's more or less given that they will do that 1 turn, right?
yeah. Khornight said it died week 2. Um, so he did have one. I'm
Yes.
assuming that's what Sentry is possibly going to turn into.
Yeah.
Um, I'm interested as well to see what happens after this and what they cut because there's tough choices for them for them both. But I mean, obviously, that's a conversation really for
That is
Wednesday.
a post-match
Um,
conversation to see what
and
gets cut.
and just while we're waiting for sort of people who are going to be listening to come along, we've got our pre-season show on Wednesday. Archangel will remind us of the time.
Yes.
At Khornight, we are absolutely not upping the limit for Prem this season. You're
Definitely
going to
not at
have to
this
stick
point.
to 1400. Come hell or high water. I'm moving that. And none of the commissioners are pro moving it at the moment. Because I think this season is definitely the one where people are going to have to start making tough choices. Yeah, so there we go. We've got the Far Albion Cup as well. I thought it was called the Far Ablion Cup for a little while, but that seems to have been
I,
changed.
I, I,
The
I
Far
gotta hear
Albion.
for a lot of things here. I also like that we
Mm.
have the dyslexic person being the one who does all the typing of text. That is definitely a good
Well,
way.
I mean, you just I gave it to you and watched you fly. So I mean, you can't really put it on me, to be
No,
honest.
that's
But
true.
yeah, so we've got the preview show live here, 8:30 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Should I'm really looking forward to it. I have to say, I think that's going to be a really good show. Snow Troll, if you haven't, go on the Barron Hills division. Snow Troll's done an excellent write up for the Barron Hills. I've been given the job of doing tier threes reviews, so that includes Barron Hills and Colsa. I have to say,
Yes.
Snow Troll, we've got very different cards marked, so it'll be interesting to if you're about and you're on the chat, I'm sure you'll have some opinions of what I think. Um, but let's see. And of course, we kind of went over that, but the Far Albion Cup, the sign up closes tomorrow.
Yes.
And we're going to do the live draw on Wednesday. Now, me and Archangel haven't yet fully agreed what we're going to do. There will definitely be some fondling of balls. I mean, table
Yes.
tennis balls,
Yes.
live on screen. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, we'll yeah, that's always a highlight of my season, if I'm honest.
Yes.
Um,
I'm looking forward
so
to that.
we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. So those are in the chat. You can possibly put down what you think your score predictions are. By the sounds of it, Arcangel's going for a 1-1 draw. I'm going to say undead by 2. I'm sorry, Khornight, I'm really pessimistic for you. Um, I, I I just really like Galentio's team, and I think this is a really tough matchup for the Elves. I think, again, I haven't played anywhere near as many games as Khornight has, but from experience, when I've played Elves against Undead or Necro, anything with regen, I've just really struggled. I don't know about you, Archangel. I don't know whether you've found the same sort of experience as I have, but
I do, but I think it also is depending on like how what's your build and what you're going for. Like I would say something like Wood Elves, don't struggle as much with undead. With Pro Elves, I do a bit more, and Dark Elves is somewhat in between. Is sort of my experience.
mm,
Because if you're Wood Elf, you are more or less just dancing around the undead, and they can't really get hold enough of you. And with Pro Elves, you're sort of lacking that extra mobility or that extra higher armor value of Dark Elves to sustain you throughout the match. So I think also because of the deep roster, I think my guess is whoever gets the ball each half is going to be the TD, and then it's going to be down to a third half of and see who gets the ball and how much attrition is there at that point. And is there key players missing? Also, it's probably also going to be a factor by then.
yeah,
Uh,
let's say that fouling piece is going to be
he's going to
interesting
have
as well.
his jobs cut out for him. That is definitely the
And
case.
I like I'm certain that must be a random as because as Cornwall got 2 kick pieces.
Yes.
Is he that pessimistic about the lives of his
And
kickers?
I like the fact
He
that they're
needs to have
both
two.
on their catches, as far as I remember.
So I actually do this. This is a really nice piece of advice from Sarah Mole. Who is the outgoing kick on when you're playing Wood Elves anyway, to put them on the catches, because the catches just don't go on the line. So it was a really, really, really nice pick. I mean, I used to have a kick player for my Dark Elves, didn't I, Archangel? I had a really nice one
I don't know what
who
he's
got
talking about.
brutally murdered by
I have no
by
idea what
by
you're talking about.
somebody's orcs. I don't remember quite whose,
No,
but
I think I think we should leave that in the past. There's no reason to dig up all dead players. I mean, yes. So my
oh,
sort of
Khornight is purely
argument,
random.
yes, is that for catchers they have so many other skills they need that I don't really feel that they have a how to say allowance for like say superfluous skills. So I
Mm.
generally pick a line elf if need be, or hope that I randomly roll it on a line elf. That's usually the way I do it. But yeah,
I
I
think
do like
both.
the kick though. I must admit I do like kick skill, especially on elf teams.
Well, on the fast elf side, I mean, I still like it on dark elves, because you can kind of engage and disrupt before the cage can get in. I mean, that's going to be my plan for this season.
I
Um,
think for my latter dark elves, the only skill that I have picked for my line elves is actually kick. That's the only one I picked. Everything else is randoms. Because again, I want that skill, and if I'm not getting it randomly, then I'm willing to pay that extra price of getting it because then I have it. Um, that's how good I think it
Interestingly as
is.
well, that
Yeah,
the zombies also got kick as well. I'm not sure how much use that's going to be against this fast throwing elf side, but it's
mm,
interesting they've got kick.
I'll still say you need it because especially if you wanna make up the ante for that one turner. Like putting that ball in the far end corners, like even versus Skaven with high mobility or something, especially like a pro else, it means that they need to do a throw that they particularly or start committing more players that they would prefer on the back lines to make sure that they can get the ball up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just waiting for the game to go live, and we will start. Um, sorry, we're not kind of sponsored by sort of sponsors, but this is a sporting game, so advertisements are normal. If you haven't yet looked at and you haven't considered the UKBBL's tabletop tournament, which is held in San Diego in Nottinghamshire, UK. It's held on the 1st and 2nd of March this year. And as Gav has told me a couple of times, we have more non UKBBLers than UKBBLers currently signed
Wow.
up. So if you're looking for a 2-day event, and I have to say it's the highlight of my year, like it is genuinely the Blood Bowling highlight of my year. Definitely sign yourself up for that. Get yourself a room at the Holiday Inn where the tournament is, and come and have some fun with us all in a bit of a tournament. Looks like they're live.
Yep.
So there we go. Perfect conditions on the weather, which is a good start. There's
Always.
no inducements for anybody, so this will be quite key whether they'll win the kickoff. So now they've both kind of gone. I thought, this was my thoughts kind of going into this game. I actually thought that we might see 2 Dakas from Khornight, and he might go
Well, if
Daka
he was going to go
defense.
Daka, I wouldn't have chosen kick then.
No, that's what I thought, which is why I didn't want to say anything while he was there. I mean,
Yeah.
I absolutely could be wrong.
So he did the same in the semi-final versus me. He chose to kick.
I'd always choose to kick as elves. I think you've got more of a chance to defend with 11 than you do with 9, but you can absolutely score with 9. So you might as well kick at this point, because
Yeah,
this will be the most this will be the kickoff event where the elves will have the most available players. So you
definitely.
might as well go this way.
And if he's gonna continue his let's say approach of applying high pressure, I can see why you want to kick first. If you want to go for Daka, you probably want to receive first, because that way you will protect the players for the second half, which is the version of Daka generally that makes most sense, at least to me. But then you need to receive. If you want to apply high pressure, you need to do that while you have a full roster, so to speak. So
3 rerolls per team, no leader. So, there's a leader on there. Oh, he's done exactly the same as he did against you. He's put that leader on the bench, so he's got a reroll for the 1 turn.
yeah, I think also to protect the player, because you don't really need those skills on a defensive drive.
Well, I've started kicking a little bit differently. So normally I'd be kicking straight to the corner, but I've started to kick sort of 1 square in. So I absolutely confined the corner. I don't remember where I saw that, but I thought that was probably a pretty sensible suggestion.
And the violence begins.
Well, if the armor stays like that, double 1s, that'll be okay.
Well, right now it looks
This
a bit of a.
Fills me. Yeah. This sequence here on defense when I'm playing elves, particularly low armored elves, I just feel dread. That's all I feel. I can't stand this bit.
I think it's because it's usually the time that you get hit the most times as an elf team. Like this is the where you have gonna get the most dice rolled blocks on your team, right? Oh. Sneaky Git fully exposed. No, he's gone. Damn it. Oh my god.
So that gives the that means the attrition war is going to be. I mean, that could have gone horribly wrong there, because if he rolls double skull, the ball carrier is completely exposed. So that wasn't a risk-free play.
No, but the reward is I don't like the exposing.
The reward was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I don't like the exposing of the corner down there.
And that's really disappointing that it's the Fowler that's gone.
That's definitely something that's going to be felt.
And 2 niggles as well. I mean, what was that roll on the?
It was a
11. It was 11.
11
so
plus.
What is the head injury one? I'm just trying to
remember. He had 2 niggles before, so it's also.
Probably still play that. Yeah. I don't think that player's going to be cut on a -1 armor value. I think you'll probably keep him.
No, I think it's more the problem that is in combination with the 2 nicks on top of that. On the other hand, he doesn't have anything, at least in the current lineup, to replace him with, which is sort of.
risky.
Yeah. And it's
Could have gone to a 1 dice there.
Well, it would still be 2 dice with this is from over here. From the High Templar.
Well, you've got a guard. You had a guard mummy, so if you'd have gone, oh no, I see. Yeah. They got pushed back. Yeah.
I think you would have put him in here and started bouncing around if.
Here's some friends.
I'm interested to see what he does, and what Galentio does with this incoming blitzer.
Yeah.
On the back, because the risk is you don't get the knockdown, and then the blitzer just merrily walks its way along this line of players, so along the skeleton, along the mummy, and then sits itself nicely on the corner of the cage.
Yeah.
Taking the blitz option over there.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. But this time, no miracles.
I do wonder at what point where the attrition starts to go, Galentio can start making some speculative fouls. Perhaps on just linemen.
But like he both have the sneaky kid and he has the dirty player, though we're not on the same player, but he has both options, right? So I think not for a normal line elf, but for if a blitzer goes down or something, I am fairly sure that we'll see a foul on the player. I don't like this.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind the. I don't mind having a foul on a lineman, because you know that lineman's not coming back, right? If it's injured, it's not coming back, and you're trading player for player. And remember, a removal against the undead's only a 50% chance of a removal, so it's not definitive.
No, the only player you would, as the elf, foul, I think, is the ghouls. Maybe the Reich with Mighty Blow might also be worth considering, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Followed up there, just try and get a bit of pressure on. I only really play tournaments with Elven Union, so I tend to be quite aggressive with the blitzers.
I think he's trying to minimize the attrition and get sort of into position by circling him in. As you can already see, he's sort of creating a pocket for the undead to sort of stay in, so they have limited movement and mobility.
How's the missus, Bob?
And I don't think his blitz is going to be on the dirty player over here.
Including my family's sacred gut plate. Cow.
Let's see where his blitz is possibly going.
Yeah. He's gonna try to.
Yeah, okay. Quite like that.
The domino effect
Yeah.
in action.
I see what he's trying to do there, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to get the
I
player.
think he wanted to chain push the player out, so therefore he didn't need to dodge with them.
Yeah. And this way he also has the backup punch in case it turned into a push, as it did, right? Now you'll probably take out this, yeah, and then you take out this guy over here. Again, limiting the exposure. You don't really want to be blitzing in here to get sort of, and this is still not good enough for what you need. But like, what is movement 8?
If the player remains very quiet,
He doesn't need to be very close to the touchdown line to be able to be a real threat, right?
You can go and sit. He can go and sit in.
Oh.
Nuffle must be holding him up.
Now that's quite nice. That gives an opportunity. It's just a bit of a shame that the Fowler's already gone.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
What's also a problem is that the elves do not have a guard. I just really like having a guard. I don't need many. Just one will do.
One will do.
Should they be stomping on the player's
So now
neck
we
with
have
those
a
stubby boots that hard?
player who can technically stand up and punch the. Not highly likely,
Yeah,
but.
so I thought this would be a good choice.
Oh.
And that's not a trade. So
No.
now
And
9
that's
against 11.
another attrition. Ouch.
See, now this is what I thought he might. This is where I thought Galentio might actually go. So you've got rid of the Fowler.
Yeah.
So it means that Khornight's effectively down to 12. You're playing with 13. You got the dirty player. I would just be throwing the dirty player now almost every turn. Don't be surprised, I think, to see that now.
Yeah, when you've got a bench of 3, you don't run the risk. I would have maybe still picked my sneaky get for a low value player like a lineman, but yeah, and kept the dirty player for more of the, let's call it, juicier targets. And this is also why I would have, as the wood pro elves, have gone for a receive and dagger, just exactly to avoid this, because if this attrition keeps at this rate, there's not going to be a team left.
This was what I was fearful of for the elves.
Yeah.
They lost players quickly and at a rate of knots. That was always going to be a problem. But there was also a little bit of Galentio had to do something about that player.
Yeah.
You can't position your ball player right next to a downed piece and not expect to be blitzed 2 dice uphill on the next turn, because you might get something really good.
Yeah.
He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
But so far,
there's a few nice targets now that Galentio could start to carry.
Always uses the right player for the right job.
That'll help the player move without risk.
as long as there's like a better word, 2 targets to feed the mummies.
The mummies. I mean, again, it's just this is why I said I thought the elves were just in a bad matchup situation in this scenario.
Yeah.
Not that it's an unwinnable game. It's just a really tough matchup.
Yeah.
You've got the strength 5, and because obviously everything's strength 3. See, this is where I think you're right. I think I would have possibly considered. I'm being told off because of the amount of chocolate I've eaten.
So if you had gone for the Daka, right, you most likely would have, like with mummies, right, they have free movement, so you're taking basically out the 2 key players that's going to do most damage for most of the turns, right? And then the zombies and skeletons are not exactly known for their speed either, so you're down to that. It's basically the ghouls and the weaks that you need to dance with. They can be still troublesome, but you've got a team now versus 6 players. And
you almost kind of make it almost like a 2-turn game, because as long as you can score on your withdrawn offense, if you score on that, you can go for the 1 turn at the end of the game.
Yeah.
and almost kind of say, okay, Galentio, you run in, you go and score. That's fine. You go and sit there for 8 turns. I'll
Yeah.
just patiently wait until we get to turn 16, and then I can have a go.
Yeah. And if that sort
Again,
of fails,
really-
you have the third half to sort of hope that it goes your way, right? So
See, I'm also learning here, like, about what's Khornight doing with the blitzers here, because that they are the main bit of the team. I mean, he's got them nicely hemmed in here, but I don't know about you. I would have almost liked to have seen a bit more of an effort to try and force the
yeah, in all fairness, like because like
line with those with that frenzy player. I mean, you've got a definite advantage over there.
He seems a little
yeah, you gotta. I think Galentio, for my liking, would have liked to seen a little bit more focus on protecting the ball, because this cage is not exactly safe. That player.
His strength.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
That's a good decision, I think.
I would have
See,
gone
throw
for
a
the
ball, that's
tackle blitzer guy.
He does, and he gets it.
That's a key role,
So if this is a removal,
which looks like no.
no. Well, no, I like that. So I think what Khornight is trying to do here, I'm sure other people have picked it up, is this is just trying to hold these pieces in place, because the elves have just got that great maneuverability. You take that both down.
But the problem is also now you made it so that he can basically swap the cage around. Basically turn the cage inside out, and there's no problem with it. And it should only be like you can force him to score that much earlier. But
So now I would be fearful of that lineman that's on the floor next to that dirty player.
yeah. So you could take the 2,
There's only one word to say about this ball.
and use his corners, and then just build the cage inside out. Well, until you start moving them out.
Khornight has done a good job, though, of starting to expose some of the more fragile pieces.
Definitely.
Do you throw a foul at this ghoul? He stays there.
With 11 players. If I had 12, I would have. If he had 12, I would have said yes. But with 11, I'm not sure. But I don't think he's going to be relevant for next turn. That's one way of solving it, of course.
Well, there's not going to be that many elves to use next turn.
No, there's definitely a lot of them checking the grass.
Yeah, so this is what I thought. You're going to foul that lineman. Well, no doubles. Kind of backing up my point here about the fact that I hate fouling. It's just a dirty habit.
I feel dirty every time I have to do it.
I liked the days of Blood Bowl 2 where everybody was nice to each other, and everyone just accepted the fact that C-bomb was the way that everybody would do it.
Yeah.
At least that felt clean and honourable. Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeesh.
Everyone knew it was broken, but except the way of playing it. But fouling is just no.
I think they really need to get rid of that
Bit of a
arguing the call,
What are you up to?
and I think
I'm thinking about what to have for lunch. Roast elf heart or baked
I
halibut.
don't think even it's enough. But yeah,
Now I'm interested here. If this is my
Oh.
position, I'm almost tempted to let Galentio go. I'm almost tempted to let the players go.
well it's now and well I would say this is actually the time you need to apply pressure, right?
There's a way with the fairies.
Because
Better watch out.
the undead is sort of out of position.
Beasts.
And if you squeeze them much harder now, they will start considering whether they should score that one turn earlier. If you let off the pressure now, they're gonna secure their position and just drag it out. So either you go for accepting that you get the one turn and less attrition, or you accept that you're gonna run a bit of a more risk and then try to get them. This seems a little bit, at least to my opinion, a little bit in between, which is neither gonna. Well, it should be mostly just to keep your option open, basically, then, right?
At the moment, I don't think. I mean, Khornight's lost the Fowler, which is a shame.
Yeah.
And has lost a lineman, which is, I mean, that's what they're there to do, right?
He's going
Yeah.
to make him
There's been no key pieces lost.
No.
If Galentio was to, if he was to back off now, you know, Khornight would be 1-0 down, but would still have 11 players. You're going to receive the ball twice.
Yeah, like I was going to say,
it's not a bad place to be for the elves.
No. Like an elf player going into second half with 11 players, you feel blessed, right? Like that's the place you're hoping to be, like, right?
So depressing that our life is just it's just one of hoping we have enough players.
Yeah. But I think the problem here is that like the fouling will continue and the attrition.
I don't think. I think this turn. I think if Khornight wanted to disengage, I think he could do it. This is the turn that he could do so.
Well,
He's got one stunned player.
Oh, is that a removal? Yes, that's removal, but
That's
only
okay.
a KO. But it's only
That's
KO,
okay.
so that's acceptable.
Yeah, I'd be taking the money and running at this point.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Yeah, I'll keep my one reroll.
Yeah, because like the odds of actually stopping the touchdown here at this point, I don't see unless you get to a point of risking so much attrition that I don't think it's worth it. And I think that's what we're basically seeing is he's taking the punches that he can give without exposing more attrition, which is why you're not seeing him circle in or
It's a real shame that they couldn't get a block off on that Temple Ghoul.
Yeah.
Because that's just such a good defensive piece.
That'll help a player move without risk. That's a good choice for this play.
diagonally here. You want to get it away from your players.
Well, I mean, if he follows up, he's going into the tackle piece.
Oh.
How are they going to catch all
Which is
of
just
the
counter to what we were considering that he should be doing, right?
But it's not the choice I would have made.
greased balls would
But the only thing I can think about here is that essentially
Nice.
Khornight has managed to reduce the effective cage to 6 players.
Yeah, but it's too late. We turned 7 here, right? That's my
Could
problem with this.
Cage dive. You could cage dive. There's an angle you could take if you can slow down this.
Like
Yeah,
this,
problem is
the block blitz. I don't have a
Got
problem.
two parties in here.
If it'd been the other week, I wouldn't have had a problem with attacking him. But this guy, the mummy's gonna go up here. Those two gonna go up here. You have some. Ooh. So much for my prediction. As you can clearly see, this is what he's not doing. Yep.
Yep. Well, it's not fouled, so
He's not going to get the boot from a dirty player, at least.
Slippery like an eel. Why not just squash him next time?
Hey, that plan looked almost competent.
Yeah, you're not going to foul with the mummy. Are you going to do a dive here? It's not super, but it's you can actually do if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it for your health and your
sanity and well-being. Yeah. See, this is why I like. So I'd saved up my star player points on my witch. I think that effectively ends the cage dive threat.
Yeah.
I think it also ends the ability to foul the white in the next turn, which was the other option I was looking at.
Yeah.
And what does Khornight do here?
Yeah,
Does
the
he
mummy
say
is
thank
sort
you
of in the
very
way. Yeah, because it makes it a lot harder.
It's a 3 up, 2 up. But you really want to take off those two assists to make it worth your while.
But I think for better and worse, you are not looking to spend your last reroll, right? So you
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't really use any rerolls, and you're looking into 4 going for it, and some risky dodges. It sort of.
Okay.
This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
That's a bit of a shame. I
Yeah.
don't think you re-roll that, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, that's the right choice.
Yeah.
If it comes off, I think that's a really good play.
Yeah. There's always the.
I mean, you're then potentially losing a lineman because you had this lineman that was in front of the dirty player. I'm actually looking at it in game, so I don't know which way around to put on Twitch.
Yeah.
But you've got that lineman that's in front of the dirty player. You could have brought that round and tied up the tackle white, which would have meant you were then looking for the 1 in 9. But Galentio has not.
Gonna be a blitz here.
A snotling baked in a pie stands more chance than this poor
Just not a removal.
And there's gonna be a removal. It's gonna be a temporary one.
nervous pie shoppers,
No, you're not gonna.
And that star rule gets more star player points.
With halftime just around the corner, the game is getting interesting. Wakey wakey. One team's got some early knockouts.
And all the units are bad, and most of most KOs made it.
Are you all right, Bob?
Sorry, Jim. Seeing all that blood and death.
I'm interested to see how
just makes
this
me
is
all
defended.
warm and fuzzy inside.
Been seeing a lot of kind of shells in front of the line of scrimmage. That seems to be the popular defense against 1 turns at the moment. Khornight actually taught me that you shouldn't defend 1 turns like that.
I think the 1 turn is a sort of a complete little mini game in itself that I actually sort of enjoy. The only problem is that it's really hard to counter, but it's also really hard to make it likely that you'll succeed every time. So it's about, how to say, optimizing your odds and the skills that you have to make it so.
Galentio needs to do something about this skeleton here, because that can be easily frenzied into the pack.
Yeah. The only saving grace I think for that is that one of the 8 catchers should have had sidestep then, if it really should have. Then I think that would definitely have done it. I think it's harder to, like, if you fill up, you can also, I think right now Khornight would have liked a second frenzy piece. Then, like, one to push it back and then one to push it forward.
Well, I think Galentio's left this on.
I think it's...
Well, I think Galentio's left this on 100%. And it's only because Khornight has that frenzy piece.
The problem is also if you fall that one back right, it makes it so much easier to work around the front line too also. But I think, is he going to be pushed in here and then push that guy out here?
I'm now watching the Twitch, so you can now show me again.
Is he gonna push in from here and then force him in that way?
So I thought, so I would have come in on that angle, so the way that you're showing it. But he needs to come straight down, so he'll go in at the angle.
I think what he's gonna do is gonna go in here, and then he's gonna be pushed in here and push that way out. I think that's what we're looking at.
The only thing I really don't like about this play, see, though, you need to fill this square that's next to the mummy.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wants to do it with the blitzer. He wants to do it with one of the catchers.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of thought that what he'd do is he'd come in on the angle, push down, and then push into the back down. If he goes in at the angle you're suggesting, he needs to fill the square that's next to the mummy, so on the right.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's got the players to do that, and he needs that square filled to start with, I think. Because you can't have that one not filled.
I don't even think he's like hoping for a quick snap here or...
So he'll hope that the kick is short, and I think he'll try and run the ball to fill in the square that's next to that capture. So on the ball's helpful.
Well, I did mention blitz before we started this match. Gonna say I think for a time to have a blitz, this is probably the less dangerous time to have it. But yeah, I don't see Khornight getting one.
It's gonna tank the 1 turn.
Yeah. I don't see that really. Succeeding at this point, no.
I mean, you could do something crazy where you could go in behind the white that's standing behind the mummy, and you could try and frenzy it that way. I just I just don't see the risk to reward of risking your frenzy piece
No.
without dodge to try and get into a position that you can do that.
And the sort of funny, interesting, not funny, haha, but the funny, interesting is that in this situation you are double checking everything you do, because it's like I should be able to, in these circumstances, be able to shut down the one turn touchdown 100%, right? So you're double checking everything you're doing just to make sure that you didn't botch it somehow, right?
Mm.
Now the question is, are you gonna go and try to take that mummy and foul it and hope for removal?
I think it's too big of a risk, to be honest.
I think so too.
I think if the lineman, well, no, because it's stand firm.
There's no,
So
I see no
actually,
way.
no. I mean, I actually, in this situation, no matter what angle you go in, I wouldn't actually be standing firm with the mummy. I think
No.
it gives more opportunity to be fouled rather than less. And so I think the
Thirsty,
zombie
Bob?
with the with
Always
chip
jump.
and tickle
Well, how about
is going to be the
refreshing
target of the
glass
blitzes
of
here.
Bloodweiser?
Yeah.
If you can get rid of that piece, it basically means that your kick option is gone.
But it also opens up that you
Elves
can
need
actually
some
do something
upgrades.
about this.
Yeah, elves need something. But this is looking like potentially the 1-all that you suggested it might be.
A prone player is a
Yeah.
Elves have got more players than I thought they might have done at this point.
It was definitely looking a lot worse for a period there.
They've picked up the ball. I suppose I should
I was just thinking, I think we were back in turn 3 when he had 2 removals, injuries at that point. It was like, yeah, you got 11 players now, and there's a quarter
Yeah, it's
into the
pretty
match.
scary for the rest of the half, right?
Yeah. Here comes the
So
foul.
he is going to go for it.
I would not, but yeah, let's see if the
But it's
knuckle
not
is
sent
indecisive.
off, so it's okay.
Yeah.
What's a shame is that the KO does not come back.
No.
So
But
10
I
against
think-
11.
But I think actually, like, of course, Khornight would have loved to have that player back. But I think considering how it looked in turn 3, I think he would have accepted this place with joy at that stage, right? So, but yeah,
I expect to see Daka offense here.
yeah.
Does Galentio actually risk the goal here?
Think
Does he
so.
actually put him on?
Yeah, he does.
So I'm not sure what the benefit is actually there.
I think he
It
wants
doesn't have
something.
to.
I think he wants something to chase the Daka. I think he's concerned that the Daka will come and that he will. So from Galentio's point of view, you don't really want to risk going into overtime, because if the elves get the ball, you are most likely going to lose. So that basically means that overtime is a flip of a coin, even if you get some more removals. So you preferably need to have a chance to stop this drive, and hence you need the goal. If you don't bring in that goal, you are losing. Like, my guess is, what is that, like a sixth of your team value, but also a lot of options, right?
I can't remember how expensive that player is actually. What is that going to be? What's the base cost of goals? We can work it out.
Oh, I think it's like 70, 80s, right?
Let's go 80 because it's a positional.
Yeah.
So you're going to have 100, 120. Movement, I think, is 20.
Yes.
So that's 140.
AG is 40.
Agility will make it 40, so that's 180. And then armor, I think, is
It's
10.
10. Yes.
I think it's 190. Well, that's bargain basement at 190, I think.
Well, I would put it this way: if you offered most teams a player like that for 190, I think they would take it.
Unless there's a war dancer, right?
But
'Cause you don't like war
you know, there's only dead war
You
dancers,
don't.
right?
See,
But
my
like-
Wood Elf team in the ladder deliberately has baby war dancers, so I don't get upset when they die.
Yeah.
I've got a fabulous team for 1445. Got to say, anyone who wants to go and have a little look at my ladder team, I'm very happy with the state of my roster. Jump up on the tree is amazing.
That is a unique skill on a tree.
Oh, honestly, jump up. That's all you need. Keep that tree going.
Why not pro stuff or something like that?
But it's just then you can get him up without fail. So and then my plan is because I've obviously added 40k to his value by taking jump up.
Yeah.
I'm then just going to random everything on strength. Because
I've seen it quite a few. I've seen it quite a few that pick a movement upgrade for the tree.
So yeah, I think that's a good call. I just think in the ladder you don't have time to get them the star player points to do that,
Yeah, I see that.
and that's the problem. We're going that way.
I'm gonna try to pick up ball first. Yes.
Well done. You had the ball out.
Yeah.
Nothing can scare these elves.
Pass. Oh, the
Why
balancing
a
pass.
pass? Why the pass?
Star
would-
player points.
Well,
You wouldn't
okay.
know this because you don't play proper elves. You play ashy elves.
Don't play proper elves. I will.
You don't know the pure version of the game. Anybody who hasn't, go and check out Archangel's Nuffle page. Disgustingly plays dwarves most of the time.
Well,
And
I've only played about like
dwarves, but faster. We've had this conversation.
about 150 games on the ladder with dwarves or something like that. On two teams. No, I had 3 teams. I got two in this challenge, and the third team I made ready for getting into the challenge, and then I got like bored of dwarves, but they still got like 60 matches or something. So probably something like 200 matches with dwarves. Yes. I wonder why he said bashy. I don't know. Like a dwarf's bashy. I don't get it.
Dwarves are just awful. They're just horrible, horrible things.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
I'm just having a look through who's in the chat, by the way, just while we watch this response to the Dakar. I'm going to give a shout out to Bush Ranger, and the reason why I'm going to give a shout out to Bush Ranger is
Halflings.
because he's playing flings
Yes.
this season, and I already like you. You can come again.
Yes. That is definitely
Only heroes play flings.
yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
That might become relevant. I must also admit, Halflings is probably
A
the only
free
team that I
removal.
cannot get to work.
Now, hang on a minute. There's a chance to surf this tackle
Yeah, and I think someone saw that too.
and I think Galentio's on Khornight spotted it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The attacker has
Oh,
So I think you re-roll this. I genuinely think you re-roll this.
considering the third half and no reset or rerolls, I'm inclined to say no. Also, you need to do the going for it. If it had been a ladder game, I would probably have done it, but on a final, probably not.
Well, I did just spot after I said that is the is the blitzer going to help? Yeah, he is going to help. Do you know what? I still I think the reward is big enough that you go for it. Because
Yeah.
if that's an injury, I think that almost could motivate the elves to score a bit faster and say, you know what, we'll win it in regulation.
No.
Spike
The only player I think that would make me do that as pro elves is if the super goal is removed. If that happens, I will gladly
That's
do
why
that.
they get all the names. Those elves really do have some class.
I'm interested in Galentio's response here.
Also, because it's you still have the chance of getting the removal by powering the player, right?
It's a little bit of love for Bush Ranger in the chat.
Yes. Deservedly so.
Everyone recognising quality when they see it.
Yep.
For
But I
those,
guess, yeah.
For those who have been in the UKBBL long enough, may remember a legendary halfling called Toke. So I will find him out because he's just a thing of beauty. So Toke is one of 2 Hall of Famer halflings to have played in the UKBBL. Played for the Lancashire
How do
Hot
I look in
Pots.
HD?
His skills were sure feet, sprint. He had 2 movement boosts and 2 agility boosts. I mean, that is, and you have to remember as well. This was in the days where you rolled
They're all over
Yeah.
the place. I can't see them going
2d6.
much further with players.
That's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
The other one is Randy Pearson, who was a catch block, sure feet, movement boost, sprinting, agility boosted halfling, who played for the Anaheim Flying Ducks.
So no pressure here, but we expect to see something similar.
Waldorf might remember, who actually used to run the Lancashire Hot Pots.
Oh.
Might be able to tell us whether they're still active somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta rule that.
That's the first thing that Galencio's failed.
Yeah. And of course, it had to be in the second half, so he can't get his reroll back.
On the floor again.
I foresee a foul on that Flitzer's head. I don't know why.
Yeah, the dirty player's close enough to it.
It seems that Waldorf remembers.
Oh, it's verbal. Yeah, Lancashire Hot Pots they were. I think they used, say, when I was looking for the League of Legends Cup, I think this halfling side played. They were playing in Tier 2. They were playing a really good standard. Their team literally had nothing apart from that halfling. Ugnash would know, I think, as well.
That is interesting.
Well, the foul was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Now, where's that ghoul? Doesn't re-roll, I don't think.
Especially not with 2 rerolls and potentially 2 halves.
There's some juicy targets there.
Yeah.
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 This is kind of what I expected from Khornight. You get the capture running on the side,
Yeah.
and now you've got something in behind.
I think if it was me, I would consider swapping sides here.
I think you can have a go at the ghoul here.
You can't argue with that call, can you, Bob?
No.
That's not the way I would have done it.
No, I think if it's afraid if it takes the frenzy and the
I
guard.
think you could have blitzed. I think you could have blitzed that ghoul, but you needed to have a go at the white that was in front of the other blitzer,
Yeah.
because the dirty player behind was taken out of the equation. So you could have brought up, say, that kick capture from the back to then support that block, and then you'd have 2 dice on that player. Because, I mean, if you get rid of that ghoul, it really changes the complexion of the game.
Oh, definitely. I am not sure what Khornight is going for here.
I think there's going to be some rushes involved.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure he's got enough players to kind of get truly in behind and not leave the ball available.
I would fall back here and just say, like, I got the ball players past.
If the player is pushed, it will finish
Okay.
in public. And in general, fans are much more dangerous than players.
So what's the plan here?
That player can move
Yeah.
over a third of the field in one burst of speed.
So therefore, the
Holy
next plan must be to bring that lineman and to put him to complete a sideline cage.
Yeah.
Okay. As everybody took a sharp intake of breath. Snake only had one eye closed there.
Nuffle was kind. At the end.
So I think you've got to try and sacrifice this lineman that's next to the dirty player and try and hold that tackle in
The Bank
place.
of Altdorf
Dodge him out
said there is no safer place for your money.
and just lock up
That's
that.
because they share the fault with the gold wizards.
See, I'd have given up with
Nobody's
the
gonna steal from them.
lineman there. Nice.
Almost take the one dice here, hoping to bring this one in here. I'm not a fan of this. But then again, like in my head, I'm going for a late touchdown, and I'm sensing that that's not Khornight's approach here, because this is going to force a early touchdown. And if that's your goal, then
I don't know. The ghoul, the important ghoul is now the wrong side of protection, and I think you could have a bit of a go at him next turn. You could even have a go at him so much that you could surf him. If the ghoul's left in a bad place, but I mean, we are speaking about 2 UKBBL finalists, so probably not.
I think I would try to surf. No, because you only have one player with a
Is he gonna
AG2.
go for it? Is he going to go for it?
Oh dear.
I would put it this way: then it is definitely some cajonas that are more risk willing than mine.
3 plus 4 plus 5 plus. So I think that's going to happen over half the time. He's going to get in there. That's a 1 dice. He only needs a push result, which is a 3 up.
Yeah.
If he serves that player, I think game's done, to be honest.
The only problem is going to be very much depending on where's the recovery of the ball going to end up, because the ball is going to be
This is why I wouldn't have moved the ghoul
Yeah.
first.
No.
Coach is asking a lot of these
Go-
players.
Yeah, that is. The problem is this also now the fail state of this is, I know it's 45% chance that it fails like this, but this is horrible fail state.
Right. Ooh.
Because I
Ooh.
foresee a foul and a
Ooh,
near future on
really in trouble.
all right.
See, I
Bring
think you
this-
could have surfed him there.
Oh, you mean the?
I might have spent my blitz, and I might have blitzed that ghoul, and I'd have pushed that ghoul into the corner, and then I'd have blocked the ghoul off.
Yeah.
By using the frenzy player in front.
Yeah, well, you needed to push. Well, you could have used this one, but I think I would have used that guy and then you just blocked this down here and then pushed in that way.
Why you polishing your fangs, Jim?
Since we are now zapped,
Well, that's not great.
No, you should have done that reverse, but with those dice, it doesn't matter.
Well, you're going to be able to bring the catcher across now, so that's the one over there. Yeah,
a good
it's just
coach
moved.
always
Yeah.
uses the right player for the right job.
And this goes.
I think there's just about enough time. I think Khornight could screen this out.
Yeah,
That player doing wrong?
But that ghoul's 100% getting fouled.
oh, you definitely should be at least.
That,
The only
yeah,
question
that
is, are you willing
getting-
to spend rerolls on it if it comes to that? I would say yes, but I think that's more the question in my opinion.
Nicely done.
Here we go then. Does he benefit the whole league?
Close, but no cigar.
No. Galentio's heart
It,
turns back to his chest.
I was going to say, and it's not like there was a removal of a dirty player that would have made the difference here, right?
I still think I prefer the attempt to try and surf both of them.
Yeah, I think that's
It was 100% doable.
yeah. It would still have been a stun, but I think it would have been the better play. Well, technically, you get several chances, right? Because on a stun, the player stays on the field and you get to foul it again. Whether if you remove it off field and it's a stun, you don't get to do it again other than removal. Oh,
He was snapped like a
So I think that's echoed.
yeah, I think that's going to be echoed. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. They're definitely trying to protect their ghoul.
You lucky sausage.
I heard it's all in the wrist.
Nothing good comes from spending any time on the ground in this game.
Oh,
So before that, I felt comfortable that Khornight would have at least another turn.
you can definitely have another turn here. That's not the problem. The balancing act is more like how much do you want to risk
A good coach
fouling,
always uses the
and
right
how much
player
time do you
for the right job.
want
Not getting a lot of luck getting rid of those ghouls.
to? No. But then again, armor value 7 is the best, as I heard.
Absolutely.
now as free as a fart in a
Well, at least if
Way
someone else
better
in,
than Armor 8.
yeah.
to hutch, to howl.
Well, there's no KO recovery
They simply have a
for
better dock.
the undead,
Yeah.
so that pick point is still
You're missing one.
Khornight got
not
his
about.
9.
But the
He's back.
elves have
I
11.
wonder if their opponents do too.
Ooh. Well,
So do the elves go big or go home here? And just go for broke?
I think they're going to try basically the same play as versus my orcs. I think they're going to try to force the win in the regular time, right? But I think with that goal, I think they will have a harder time with it. So even if this has to go back the first turn, with 3 turns, 24 movement, it can basically cover the whole field. Then you just have to have the rest of the team clearing spaces for it, of course.
Used well, it could be a big advantage over the opposition.
And who got a reroll?
Khornight got a reroll.
Oh.
No removals here.
No.
I should probably say something meaningful to all our Cabal Vision viewers. All I can think of is splat.
Good so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want to do the safer blitz first. They are slippery, those elves.
I think he's going to make
So you can only get to the 10-yard line without rushing. Well, it's mission accomplished. You've still got 11 after that first turn. That would have been tasty had that failed.
Oh, that would have definitely put.
Not picking up your kickoff against elves is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it is the description of recipe for disaster.
Could have done what I did in my much earlier Blood Bowl days, playing against Khornight. I was playing dwarves. He was playing Elven Union, and I just didn't pick up the ball. And he just merrily came in, picked it up, and effed off with it into the end zone, and I lost something like 3-0 that game.
Well, it's
I got better, but
yeah.
but Khornight said, rule 101 of Blood Bowl is if the ball is there, pick it up.
I think that's a really good rule. I though have to admit that I had a game on tabletop where I was playing Dark Elves versus Dark Elves, and the first 22 attempts at picking up the ball across both players failed, and all of them was on 2+. That means that it was 22 times 1 to pick up the ball. I have never seen anything like it. So key component to winning is picking up the ball.
Oh yeah. It's always my hope that we know when I'm playing elves that the bash team does not manage to pick the ball.
Yeah.
It makes me very happy when they don't do so. Well. Yeah. So Galentio's nicely placed this because the ghoul's gonna be able to nicely cage up next turn.
Yeah.
Unless you're able to put the pressure on these middle 3. But I don't see an angle at which you could take and make it nice and easy. That's not helpful.
No. But that's what you got that
That's a bit
bonus reroll
better.
for, apparently.
I'm interested. Does anybody else use their extra rerolls on anything else apart from the inevitable double skulls that they get on the turn immediately after they'll get it.
Sometimes. I find one of the rolls that is hardest to accept not rerolling is that first double skull on the first turn of a half, and you're defending, where it's like you still want to do so much stuff right, but on the other hand, it's all like it probably doesn't matter.
You really need like self-discipline to kind of go, particularly if you're playing a low reroll team.
Yeah.
You've got to keep those rerolls back.
Yeah.
Playing 2 reroll wood elves on the ladder has been a massive insight into kind of when's the best time to use rerolls and when's best not to. The best answer is, folks, don't roll dice, and then it's absolutely fine.
It's 2 rerolls in one turn.
Well, I mean, it's 1 reroll on the turn.
Wow.
Because you get the bonus 1, you don't really count that.
That's a good choice for this
And that's a bit of a shame. This is where I'm raging at the screen. If that's me, I'm raging at the screen. I'm going, what's the point in having dodge? He's always rolling bloody things.
But I think that's one of the things with blood dodge, right? Is that it's either sometimes it's golden and it saves you for way more than it should, or it's pointless and it's just
Basically,
wasted.
what we're saying is Blodge is tilted one way or the other.
Yes. I generally never have a match where I felt afterwards like, yeah, that was probably pretty spot on. It's either one way or the other.
And he's still standing.
We trying to
Khornight's done a
clear.
good job here. Khornight's done a really good job here, I think, of just kind of disrupting.
Yeah, it's looking almost like a repeat from the semi-final here. But I think it's a little bit easier with the...
I mean, he's got a cage.
There is something we could call a cage, yes. The only problem is that from this to next turn, that's probably going to be rough. And if I'm Galentio at this point, I'm probably also thinking like, that is a good move. Maybe I would have kept. So you both want it forward so that it's bigger scoring threat. On the other hand, you're also now leaving a gap in here that I really don't like. So now Khornight basically needs to decide, is he going to try to stop the TD or he's going to try to score TD?
Another player on the ground. The coach will be
Really needs some sort of armor breaks.
That'll help a player move without risk.
Just something. He just needs a stun. Something to change the tempo.
Either that or he should just tag everything and then have his tackle pieces on the back being like, if you want to move forward, you're going to do so without a cage.
That's a surefire way to get all of your players removed one turn.
Well, we down to like it's now or never, right? If you're gonna make a play, this is the turn you either go for getting the ball or you are just gonna stop. If you're going for the stop, you're not gonna attack anything.
Here we go.
Another dive on the cage. The diving of cages is not.
I liked that play because the ball's going to be available. There was Sentry, who's the catcher on the side, all on his own.
Yeah.
If that ball's going to come out, that ball's going to come out into a place where he can possibly get it and then just run off with it. So I liked that play.
Is the assist going to be enough to come out on top?
Oh, removal. Jesus. That's not a...
That player's
No?
a little short. Oh no, my mistake. He's on the ground.
Usually when it has the... it's on now all the time.
I thought, are you really ahead of me? So I was like, I'm just watching the dice roll. Do you know something I don't?
Yeah, so, okay. So if you notice up in the top right screen, it says waiting for opponent. If that happens...
Oh, I see. That's how you do it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that usually means that it's because the server is needing to respond to something, and that means it's usually a KO or an injury. Unless they have stand firm, sidestep, or similar, again, where the server is involved in it. I see what you wanted to do here, but I'm also concerned. Yeah, if you make the TD, it's done and dusted. But like there is scoring threats. So if this ball goes... and the thrower is where? There? Oof.
I think the ghouls are going to need to do some dodging.
Yeah. It would be lovely to get one over here. Or something over here.
You see, well, yeah, one has got a scoring threat.
Nice.
And the thrower's not in an impossible position.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
That's very nice.
It's
Well, that
still
makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Because now you can wander the skeleton across and almost screen it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Which means I think what you're possibly then doing is you're throwing a frenzy dodge through the tackle zones. And that effectively shuts that route off.
Yeah. I think... gonna do some edge dodging and then...
Gonna have to be some elf shenanigans.
Yeah.
Are they dancing or fighting?
Might as well follow up and then
The
block
white can
again.
have a go.
No?
The thing is with where the white is at the moment, he's the right side of that player to protect the ball. You hit him again and you don't get him down, you're just going to sidestep to the side, and that basically cuts 2 squares off.
Yeah.
Of what it would have to move to dodge out. So it's a good hold there.
Yeah. I think you need to just go for the magic and try to punch that one, at least just to bring him back here.
Thirsty, Bob?
Always, jump.
How about a refreshing glass?
It's
of
really
brandy?
annoying that the ghouls are where they are.
Yeah.
What would be really nice is if the thrower was down 1 place further back towards Khornight's own end zone, and then you could try and jump over it. This is why you have leap.
Leap is a very good skill.
No, I honestly, I was one of the people who thought, oh, leap's rubbish now. But it has saved me more times than I care to mention.
Yeah. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still definitely viable.
It's still really good. Instead of 5 up cage diving, you're 4 up cage diving. This could be the game.
Good skill. Oh, we got the tackle.
Okay.
Smells like a fight is about to happen.
It's just going to be throwing dice at this, I suspect.
Are we gonna see a block in here and hope for a? Looks like it.
The push isn't disaster.
No, I think it's actually sort of what we were hoping for, because now this goes in here and we are hoping, of course, like you would like to put this down, but it needs to move.
5 up. 1 dice.
Yeah, on first roll, and on second roll it is 2 dice. I don't see a better
balance, I prefer the
plan at this point.
to running down the field. One tactic is for the intellectual elite. The other is for simpletons.
Here we go then.
5 plus.
Ends on the line. Doesn't make the first one.
And
I've seen some dreadfuls.
those divers have
The best.
Well, there's been 3 attempts to cage dive, and in all 3 cases, it's not been good enough. And
no,
so
I think the undead has
Galentio
it.
will do no nonsense here.
Yeah.
There we go.
5 gold pieces says he gets kicked in the
We
face.
have our new UKBBL champion, Galentio. Wasn't the convincing victory I thought it might have been, but Khornight did really well, I thought,
Definitely.
to hold that to 2-1. I thought the teams were pretty uneven to start with. There we go. The end of season 53? 53? 53. Season 53.
Congrats to Galentio, and congratulations to Khornight.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see that final repeated again at some point.
No,
2 really, really good players.
I think there's a good chance of that. I think the elf touchdown was too early. It left the undead with too much time to have a chance of making a safe touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's just the ability to if you can slow them down, and I could see what Khornight was trying to do, and to a certain extent did it in the first half, where you've split players off, you've got the cage kind of isolated. There just wasn't enough time to really attack it.
No, but I think
that's where it
like
went
if you look at this
in the
play,
first
like
half.
just 1 turn's difference, right? Like if he had 1 turn left, it would have put the undead on a much more harder timetable to operate on, and would have to take larger risks. Whether with 4 turns in a movement 8 piece, you are more within the realm of that should be a fairly stable play, right?
So Galentio just said on the chat, got lucky with the 1 turn, and I wondered, Galentio, because you did leave that player on the side, and I spotted pretty quick. Hang on a minute, he's got a frenzy. He's got a frenzy piece, and with that piece was 1. Well, it wasn't a serve. No, I was seeing the 1 turn, but yeah, there was definitely an opportunity. Are these 2 lovely gentlemen coming on to chat with us?
Well, they are definitely welcome. I can see if I can lure them in here. I was going to say, especially if I can figure out. I'm still learning this Discord thing here, but let's see if I can do that. See if they will be kind enough to join us.
I think Khornight as well. You were being a little bit too harsh on yourself on the fact that you had way too many GFIs. I just think it was where your players were. You didn't really have much of a choice. Players were. You didn't really have much.
Hello.
Here we go. We've got Khornight.
Oh, yeah, like the scoring too fast thing. I don't think like waiting for overtime. I think overtime is a bad thing for the elves against undead, right? So, and it's like you want to score on turn 5 to have 3 turns to actually turn them over, and score back, and obviously that didn't work. But I
I'm
don't.
curious. I'm curious, Khornight. Did you feel going into this that this was do you feel this was a tough matchup for just looking at the teams, but taking the players out of it? Did you feel like that the undead were quite strong, or did you feel like this was a matchup you could have turned over?
Yeah, no, 100%. Undead are one of the worst. Hey, Galentio. Or maybe not. I just had a big noise.
I think he's maybe.
Champions.
Aha, there you go. Yeah. Undead, horrible, right? It's all that mighty blow and his stupid too many stats ghoul. I blame his opponents for not stamping on it enough.
You've only got your own division to moan about. It's nothing about us to do in the West.
Yeah. So not enough turn 16 fouling. People are too nice about that kind of stuff.
Why do you think I gave it armor plus?
Yeah.
Are you saying people have been rough with it?
Oh yeah, it has won me games, not because it has stats, but because it has inherent taunt.
Yeah.
And people just go for it and leave holes, and I'm like, okay, I'll just score and win, I guess.
So how long are you going to be able to keep that player on the roster, considering it keeps getting star player points? I mean, with a cap, it's going to become a casualty at some point.
Yeah, that's a question for like end of next season if he survives. But right now he's probably gonna get another stat, probably movement. Imagine if he got agility again.
Oh,
I mean, that would be insane.
Is he at stat level now after that game?
I think not, because it's 50. It's 50 points for a stat.
50, Jesus.
Yeah, he's a old ghoul.
Someone's going to break him before then. So what was going through your mind when you got the Blitz event? You must have been thinking, "Oh, thank you, Nuffle, thank you."
Yeah, thank you, Nuffle, and try not to leave any other frenzy while you blitz.
Just run everyone away from where all the elves are.
It was noted that you did run every single player off to the other side of the pitch. I did clock that. That was quite funny. But
Nuffle gave me a chance to correct my mistake, basically.
Yeah, it was a sensible choice as well. Did you not even? No, you did blitz. Yeah, but you blitzed.
Yeah, I blitzed the line.
far side of the LOS, as far away from all the elves as possible.
Yes. But yeah, I think I was fortunate in some sense in the key moments, and yeah, that happens.
I mean, it's a dice game.
Go on, Khornight.
You were going to say the removal of
the removal of the sneaky get dirty player. I think really early was a massive boon.
I don't think so. I like Galentio's agi player. I'm not very good at secret whatever. But I'm not very good at fouling. But people concentrate on him, whatever I do. So he's a great thing for people to target.
Because he's really good, Khornight. He's really good. You should look after him.
I really don't like the fouling meta generally, but I think often he makes games that I'm winning. I win more because of him. Rarely has he made me win games that I think I would have otherwise lost.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's hard to foul with elves and put a bunch of elves around one player.
You want my game plan is invariably to try and stay spread out generally and try and spread the opponent out, and to effectively foul is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
agreed. But yeah, as the moment I was even like, do I blitz the frenzy one, because the frenzy one to defend the Daka against is really annoying.
Yeah, the frenzy one is the opposite. Like, people keep ignoring the lineman with frenzy and block and tackle, and he's won me games definitely way more than the fowler has.
Well, next time I face you, I'll take note of that.
Yeah.
we were saying, I think just before you both joined the call, I said I wouldn't be surprised see a repeat of this final at some point. Khornight, your weight goes on. I always thought you probably do it with your Skaven at some point. It feels like the fact the CPOM's gone. I think you're getting even closer now. You're able to keep your elves sort of alive for a little bit longer.
I mean, I was panicking about the idea of going into overtime, but actually, you know, I probably shouldn't have, and I probably should. Like they weren't dying, were they? I still, you know, I think I lost 2 and a KO, which did come back anyway. So I was on 11 for that last, you know, drive.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says that armor 8+ is the best in the game, behind armor 10+, and armor 9+ is the worst.
No, armor 10+ is miles behind, because, you know, when armor 10+ dies, you're you know, it's horrible and really annoying, and Nuffle's forsaken you. But when armor 8+s die, you kind of like, oh well, yeah, it's supposed to. Why hasn't it died earlier? I don't understand why I've still got so many players.
Yeah.
No, I was pleasantly
So
surprised that there was still 11 players on the field for the final drive. I think it was
There was a
turn
lot
3.
of stuns in.
Yes,
A lot
I
of
think it was
stuns in the
turn 3
first
that it
half.
was there was already the 2 injuries, and then it was all like, yeah, that's all we're gonna get for this match.
Yeah, I think something like turn 5, turn 6. I think Galentio is right. There was a turn where there was 6 stuns.
Yeah, there
and
was.
I was making the argument on the chat at that point is Khornight almost needs to kind of go, do you know what, I'll disengage. The cage has got through, the drive's kind of broken down, I'll live to fight another day. But it's hard when all of your players are kind of asleep on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been my thing, but, you know, he's just going to foul whoever's best. So I kind of had to hang around a little bit and then wait,
Yeah.
and then they, you know, then some of them get up, but it, you know, maybe it doesn't. I can't remember what exactly happened, but I didn't quite get away the next turn either. And it was like, well, you know, too late now. Might as well hang about and hope that he rolls a 3 dice on the last turn and gets hexaskulls. I thought for a second. I thought for a second you were going to foul on turn 8 when you were like lining up people next to the tackle catcher.
Well, I won't say it didn't cross my mind, but then it was like, no, it's turn 8. Because you're still in like those 7 turns mindset of, if I see anything tasty on the floor, I'm gonna kick it.
Yeah. Or you were fouling linemen more than I would have done. That's for sure.
Just because I had bench, basically.
Yeah,
and
15 players.
It's disposable, zombie disposable, basically.
Yeah, I was kind of curious as to, and you started to kind of do what I expected, which was you had some spare players, and even if you got your dirty player sent off, you still had the advantage. So throwing fouls at, you know, even just linemen, that there's a reward in there, and, you know, if it goes wrong, you kind of go, oh well, never mind.
Yeah.
But,
the less players he has, the less effective the DACA is.
But was the referee actually in that game at all? Because
No.
there was not a single foul was caught, right?
No, I think he still recovered from the bribe from our semi-final. I think that's what he.
Yeah. I wanted to say about my semi-final with Arch. I watched the video. I watched the playback, and I thought I'd done all right. But having watched the video back, I played terribly in that, and I totally diced him. It was entirely Nuffle, and, like, you know, I didn't deserve to be in the final anyway. So you know.
Well, facing orcs is a whole nother ordeal.
Yeah.
than facing elves.
Yeah, I know about that, Galentio. I have to play him each season because he's in the same bloody division. You're welcome. You're welcome to have him if you want. You can have him over in the east.
We have Ugnash in the east, so it's okay.
East is beast.
Yeah,
it certainly is at the moment, and I've almost put a post into the west and say, come on, you lot, we need to get this sorted, because this is 2 finals in a row that we haven't had a single person in there. And then I remembered that actually I'm part of the problem, because I was one of the players. So I kind of kept my mouth shut. But I was just having a look for stats fans out there. It's not been since season 12 that we've had an undead champion. And so working back from sort of 3 months for each, 4 seasons for each year, that's probably not since 2012 we've had an undead winner of the UKBBL. And the last winner was Ghoul. Just want to have fun. Well, you did have a Ghoul that was having fun tonight. So very fitting that Ghoul won it.
I was in college then.
Wow. I was at university. I just finished university, 2012.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was already 2, so fine. Young uns, you young Blood Bowl players.
Yeah, continuing the stereotype that Blood Bowl coaches are old. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, you said earlier, you could see both of us being in the final again, but we got Ceramol and Gav, both of whom I would expect to be in the finals as well on our side. So
I mean, I think you just need to look at the teams that are going in, and we're now. I did have a little look. We're one of the biggest leagues in Europe. I think we're only surpassed by Liga España, who I think have 120 coaches.
Wow.
And it's hard to work out how much Rebel have in their league, because I think they do a couple of different things. But 112 coaches. But I mean, if you just go through kind of the coaches that you've got in Prem East, it's going to be very, very competitive. RTSD is a very good coach. Ugg has been a former semi-finalist. Ceramol's won a title. Gav's won FA Cups. He's also top ranked high elf coach. He will tell you about that if you see him. And on the other side in the west, we obviously got Archangel, who's looking to qualify for Chalice again. Hellenic, who I really rate very highly. He's got a very good team. Fantas, who I've again always rated really, really highly. There's some really, really good teams. But folks, you can come and see what all our thoughts are on all of those teams on Wednesday at 8:30 for our season preview.
I've just done a quick count of the European division for Rebel, and it's less than 60. So,
okay. So it looks like we're possibly the second biggest then.
Yeah.
Behind.
Although does the Russian Blood Bowl League count as Europe?
Sort of Europe, Asia, but I would assume so. I am basing that on Galentio's amazing website. And again, for listeners, I will point out he doesn't pay us to do this. He has set up a Ko-fi page. He puts all of your stats on there for Blood Bowl 3. You can get a really nice infographic of what you play, what your ratings are. And he does this all for free. So if you want to go and reward him with a beer, go on his Ko-fi page and or cup of coffee if that's his,
or an Irish coffee.
Better.
If that's what you'd like, go on the Ko-fi page. Then you can donate. I would thoroughly recommend if you've got a couple of quid spare, and go and click on that. You certainly have filled the void left by Spike. So thank you from the community, Galentio. Thank you very much from the community.
At this point, it's just to keep the hamster fed because server costs ramped up, because we are currently at 40 leagues and growing. And new ones every month, every week. So it got bigger than I ever anticipated.
You were always going to have a good take up. The other way, folks, is and I will remind Doug to do so, and Waldorf is still in the chat. The UKBBL hasn't asked in a long time for donations to the league. We use it purely for running costs. There's nothing that the commissioners take themselves. So we, for example, again donate to Galentio. There'll be other things, for example, like our website handle. I think we pay for that. Waldorf will be able to explain a little bit more. So watch out this space. You can also donate to the UKBBL, and by doing so, you can also donate to Galentio at the same time as we send a small thank you to him every so often. So thank you very much. It's well past my bedtime, so I will leave you. But thank you very much for an excellent final, you two, and we'll have a little review. I will get your teams, by the way, into the competition right now before I go off to my beddy buys. So if you don't need to do your caps now, but whenever you get a chance to do it, but I'll put them in the competition.
I mean, I was just sitting there staring at it, thinking what I was going to do. So you might, if you want to get rid of my MNGs for me,
yeah, I'll do that for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Over to you, Archangel. You can say farewell. Are you going to sing a song? You're going to sing what? Sing us out.
I was going to start to sing
kind of level of
myself. Anyways, to save everyone's ears and everything else, I think we should call it a night. And congratulations on the title and commiserations. And we hope to see you soon, all. Bye bye for this time.
See you Wednesday, folks.
Cheers.
Cheers.